Good evening and welcome to Monday, April 22nd, East China School District Board of Education meeting. If you would all please stand with me for a moment of silence and Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, welcome everybody. Our next item is items of interest, recognition, and inquiry. Does the Board of Education members have anything? No? Nobody? Okay, Mrs. Saibula?
Yes, I'd just like to take a minute to congratulate Micah Bowles and the St. Clair Performance Group and Band on the production of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. It was a wonderful production. I really enjoyed it, and I think the Oompa Loompas were my favorite. It was a really nice job done by all, so congratulations.
Fun. Okay, our next item is the RESA 2024-25 budget resolution.
I do not see Brenda Tenniswood as of yet.
No,
so
I
if
don't
you'd
either.
like
Okay,
to-
so we will put that on pause. And we will move right down to our academic spotlight. Marine City Middle School, Nicole Kirby and Anne Marie McLeod.
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll try to hold it up. There you go. Okay.
All right, good evening. Superintendent Saibula, President Frank, and members of the school board. Tonight I have the pleasure of highlighting two of the new electives that we offered our middle school students this year. To help me out with this presentation, I have Mrs. Anne Marie McLeod and students from both elective classes. So in previous years, all students at Marine City Middle School were only able to select 2 electives per semester, totaling 4 per year, unless they were in band or choir, which were our year-long classes. So those students were limited to their one class, and then they had one elective additional each semester. This year, changes were made in the schedule to allow 6th grade students to experience more electives within. Graders rotate to different electives every quarter, giving them an opportunity to explore their options for their 7th and 8th grade years. So grade 7 change electives at the semester. Here are all the options that we have with the grade that they are offered in. So several options are available to each grade level, and then some are limited to just that particular grade as intro courses. So I'll give you a minute to take a look at that. And tonight, please allow us to highlight our 6th grade elective Intro to Engineering and 8th grade elective Intro to Foods, which were both new this year.
Okay, so before Sophia starts, a lot of kids, this class is really fun to teach, by the way, but a lot of students are still shying away from the engineering classes, the robotics, or the design and modeling because they feel that maybe they're not ready or just a little bit too challenging. But once they get in the class, they realize like it's really neat to see their ideas turn into something real life. So we started this intro class, and I brought 4 students to kind of tell you their own view about what they thought about our little taster class. All right.
Awesome.
Hi, my name is Sophia Wenzel, and I really love the Intro to Engineering class. In just 9 weeks, we practiced using the engineering design process to plan, create, build, test, and evaluate these different projects. We certainly learned a lot about ourselves and the difference between cooperation and collaboration. And to be honest, some of us learned we need a little more work on those skills. My favorite project was the board game project. We made everything from the actual game to the instruction manual to the game cards and pieces. Here are some photos of the project. You can see some of our our manual, some of our card pieces here, some of our game pieces. I really like that we got a 3D print our game pieces. Here's Olivia to tell you more.
Hi, my name is Olivia Mackey, and I love this class because I got to learn skills while having fun. My favorite project was the Labyrinth project. After the group board game project, we were able to choose to work alone and a pair for this project. I chose to work alone. Some people asked to team up after they realized the power in teamwork. Here are some photos of this project. You can see we all had the same expectations for this project, but you can see all of our creativities. It was really fun, even though my eyes were closed. It was my favorite project. I really love this project, and now here's Luke to show you more.
Hi, my name is Luke Johnson, and I loved Intro to Engineering because it helped me with social skills and how to socialize with other people. My favorite project was the research and presentation project. Not only did we learn what makes a good presentation, but we also learned the importance of voice, visuals, and vocals. So how am I doing?
Awesome.
Before we presented, Ms. McLeod met with each of our groups to give us tips and pointers on our slides. But the best part was that after each presentation, each of our classmates raised their hand to tell us what they liked about ours. When knowing what worked made me feel good, and now I know what to do in the future.
Well, yeah. It doesn't work, you guys. You might just have to explain, because you're not going to be able to do it like at our board.
I need the next slide.
I love it.
That was the last one, that one.
Here is Sophia using a gesture while Morgan is reading something off a card, and here is Emma trying to do her best while looking at her audience. Now here's Grace to tell you more.
Hi, I'm Grace Keegan, and I enjoyed this class too. My favorite project was the Instant Challenge. We had to build a multi-story structure that can withstand 3 kilograms of weight during a 10-second McLeod earthquake of 2024. In this challenge, we used everything that we learned in the process, the design process, and to complete a whole project within 45 minutes. It seemed like a very long time at the beginning of class, but you could really feel the pressure when Miss McLeod announced 10 minutes remaining. And here are some pictures of the successful builds. You probably see that I'm a little bit nervous. I think I surprised myself when it actually worked. I am sure that we can all agree, even if we don't become engineers, there will always be problems that need to be solved. Thank you for letting us share how much we enjoyed this class.
Okay, Intro to Foods was the second new elective offered this year. Over the course of a semester, students are able to learn about food safety, kitchen equipment, proper measuring techniques, the nutrition in foods, and even get to work in a lab setting to follow a recipe and create real dishes. The students not only learn about food and how to prepare it, but they also learn problem-solving skills, teamwork, communication, and time management. And here to tell you a little bit more about the class this evening are 8th graders Amelia Chipman and Grace Karszewski. The difference between 6th grade and 8th grade.
Big difference.
I would just like to say I'm very thankful for this class, especially since this is something I would like to do when I'm older. And as you can see, these are some recipes that we've created. Edible cookie dough, Rice Krispie treats, pancakes, no-bake cookies, M&M bar cookies, chocolate chip cookies, gingerbread houses, and holiday recipe swap parties. A recipe swap is when around each holiday, each group would each group would research and find a recipe to create on each holiday. Recently, for St. Patrick's Day, each person would create, we had mint, green, gold. It was a mix, which those were really fun. As you can see, here's some photos of us creating Rice Krispies and edible cookie dough. And then we also learned how to, clean up after ourselves, like you do, like most people just leave their messes. we learned how to do laundry and then clean up the kitchen properly. We also had gingerbread house competition around Christmas time. And as you can see, ours was tiny, but I really liked it as my expression on my face. It was pretty fun.
So this class, we learned a lot of things, not just stuff that's on here, but more that, I don't know, in our class. Some of the things we learned were like limited time to create. We only had an hour and something to cook and clean up after ourselves, which was very stressful in the time that we had. We also learned how to work as a team. I mean, not everything turned out good, but at least we did it together as a team and had a lot of teamwork. Some challenges we had was not everything was like on time, or like we brought it in on time for our recipe swaps or ingredients that we needed for things, so that wasn't pretty good. And then not enough time again to do it. Some success was when everyone in the group participated and we had a lot of fun and focused. That's when we had the best turnouts of our food creations.
Me and Grace decided we wanted to make something for the board. We created Cookie Monster cookies that we thought were really cute and fun. As you can see, here's our recipe if you would like to create them. And
Yeah.
So they did make these. Mrs. Fraley, who is the teacher for this class, couldn't be here this evening, but she did taste test them for you. She said they were very good.
Thank you very much.
It's the best meeting ever.
Thank you.
The cute little tags and everything.
Thank you so much.
These are awesome.
This is great, thank you. Yeah.
Love it.
Oh, they're awesome. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I like getting prizes.
Thank you.
For last time.
Okay. So we are very proud to be able to offer these two new options to our middle school students, and we really look forward to seeing them grow in the future.
Yeah, great programs.
Yep, what question might you have?
Thank you.
And I'd like to thank Mrs. McLeod for being up here to help me and all of our students, because I don't think I could have made it through the whole. I was gonna last, so thank you.
All right, thank you.
Very good,
you.
guys.
Great job.
Yeah.
Guys did a great job presenting.
I want to know the difference between edible cookie dough and cookie dough. I just thought it was all edible.
No, they have.
I know, I know.
Eggs in it.
I still eat it anyway.
Oh, I do too.
What is?
We baked the flour in the oven, so it was edible, and we did not add egg. And then for the actual cookies, we added egg, and so it was bakeable.
I mean, I just eat it all anyway.
Which one did you like better?
Yeah.
I like the actual cookies. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. It was like, I didn't like the texture.
Yeah.
Not really a texture. It's very sugary.
That's fair, yeah.
Nice job,
Very
girls.
good, guys.
Thank
Very
you.
nice.
job.
Thank you.
Motion is needed for the approval of minutes from the regular Board of Education meeting on March 18th, and the approval of payment of bills, financial statement, and schedule of investments.
So moved.
Support. Any comments or questions? Okay. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Now we'll move on to our department reports, if anybody has a report to share with us this evening.
Good evening. I will reserve my report for closed session.
Okay.
Good evening. I have nothing new to report, although Mrs. Gleason and I did notice that the recipe said it yielded 20, so I'm just wondering where the other 13 cookies are.
Uh-oh.
They also learned how to adjust.
I have two updates from the business office. The first is we're preparing for our second series bond sale. And so we recently received news that our S&P rating came in, and we have maintained our A rating from our previous review. So we were very pleased with that. And then the second thing I wanted to report is we did receive an invoice for our election, for our operating mills. Even though it was in a primary election, we do share the cost with the county. And so the school district share of the cost was $18,102. So I just wanted to be sure that you were aware.
Thank you.
That's it from the business office.
Nothing from operations tonight.
Okay. Thank
I
you.
was going to make, the board gets all the good stuff. If you're up there, you got keychains, we get food. The other thing I was laughing is that young man was trying to touch the screen. I said, that's awesome habit that they got into, but that would be a very, very expensive touch screen. A couple things real quick. Something I just put in our staff newsletter, Inside Look newsletter. Over the last few years, you guys know how much technology we've infused in our district. But with that, we've also added a ton of online services. All of our testing is online. Just tons of stuff. So what we did recently is and I'll even do a little bit show and tell. Recently, I just added this cloud services status. So if a service goes down, so Google is a good example of that. So Google entails Gmail, Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, et cetera. So what this does is this website that's available to basically anybody off our technology website, monitors all of our online services and will give us live instant feedback if something does by chance go down. It's things that we don't have control over, but we really need to know. If something goes down like under the Google Workspace apps. And then last week, I think Gmail went down for a little bit. This notified us. This is live real-time updates. What's nice about this webpage is that you can also subscribe to updates. So instead of calling the help desk, you can get an email right away letting us know if there's an issue with one of our online services. So we can see last week, if I click on history, it'll tell us that Gmail or Google is down for a period of time, whether it's a warning. So it's a good one-stop shopping. It says 26 services, but if you look under some of these, like Google Workspace, that includes, there's well over 100 different services that we monitor and use on a daily basis. McGraw-Hill Education, et cetera, all the way down. So we just implemented that. Next thing, I'm just going to be real quick. It's just another thank you. Over the last couple weeks, SATs are all on SAT testing. We just completed PSAT testing. We've done some M-STEP Michigan assessment testing over the last couple weeks. And as we were debriefing in my department, and some of you, Pat, may remember, but when M-STEP first came out, it was in all honesty, a nightmare for us as a technology department to manage. We would be pulling all computers from all buildings. I would have to collect, some of the principals may remember, I would have to collect testing schedules from all the principals, and we used to have to, when can you test? You can test from 9 to 10:30, and then we'd grab those computers and take them to another building. So we've had testing, and that process literally took probably 6 weeks or more to complete. With the bond, and you've heard me talk about this over and over again, with the infrastructure we were able to install, with going one-to-one, with going online, now the SATs, and it's mandatory, SATs and PSATs are all online. We got the bulk of majority of testing done in 2 weeks. One little glitch, it was on our end, but no test glitches. I mean, I'm just so thankful for where we're at, thankful for the community. And I think I said this to the parent group a few weeks ago. I know nobody everybody just wants things to work, and that's fantastic. Nobody cares about everything behind the scenes. But we have a network where 85% of our devices are wireless, and we see almost 8,500 devices every day on the school's network. It's not your home network. That's a lot to protect. It's a lot to manage. But things have gone well, and I'm very thankful. That's really what I'm very thankful. So, all right.
Thanks, Craig.
We're thankful to have you, Craig.
Yeah.
Good evening. I'm just going to share, like Craig did, a little bit about an Inside Look article that I forwarded to the staff for this most recent edition. And that has to deal with the Safety and Security Department as we operate day to day. I think you all understand from an administrative perspective, I've done quite a bit of work, and we've done quite a bit of work in getting us up to speed and where we need to be. We've kind of reached a good spot in that regard. So just from a day-to-day perspective, you know, we had a couple incidents on our campuses recently that raised some suspicion. So this provides us a glimpse into what we do each day, and I'll share that with you. First of all, we provide a visible presence on our secondary campuses every day, which is good. So people see us, they know we're in the building. And again, that's the first level of response for us, is to be visible in the buildings, and we do that every day, all day long. Less obvious is the approach that we follow when we deal with suspicious things that arise and investigations and things like that. First of all, we'll coordinate with our building administrators in order so that we can kind of collaborate and come up with a plan between us as how we're going to respond to the issue, whatever it may be, so that we have a coordinated response. And then we also engage law enforcement. So we use them to reach out on investigations that need to take place outside the school setting. We obviously don't have the reach to be able to do that. Law enforcement is very helpful in that regard. They're more than willing to come in and help us, and we help them likewise. So we've developed good relationships with them in all of our buildings, in the various agencies that provide service to those buildings. Lastly, once we do all that, we are able to have a better understanding of the situation, helps us make good decisions on how to move forward. Everything is documented. And lastly, it allows us to give transparency for our parents and guardians. We'll be able to share information with them in a timely fashion, because everybody wants information quickly. So that's all I have for you this evening. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move into our information discussion items, our Bond 2020 update, Marine City and St. Clair campus. TMP's here this evening.
You have committee report.
Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Committee reports, academic update, Lacey Fisher.
I don't get cookies, so maybe
Yeah, I know.
Turn around.
All right, you're clicking, right, Craig? Or do I have to click? I can click here? Oh, okay. All right, good evening. I am here to just take a few minutes to give you an update on our Young Fives program here in the district. So we're just going to go over a quick timeline, some of the content that happens in our Young Fives program, and some of the progress that we've made over the last couple of years. So I just wanted to highlight the timeline. We've had this program in our school district since 2020-21 school year, and the program location currently, and again slated for next school year, is at Palms Elementary and Pine River Elementary. This last year, Mrs. Woodhouse and Ms. Gazowski, the two teachers who currently teach it and had taught it the year before, engaged in the process of really defining some developmentally appropriate goals for the program, and then aligning our resources to support those goals. So they kind of fall into three big buckets in the areas of early literacy, math, and social emotional. So in some of those early literacy skills, we were actually able to link some programs that we utilize in the K-5 scene to that Young Fives in a developmentally appropriate way. And the same happened with the math curriculum. So we were able to link the math curriculum that's used in Young Fives, and it's kind of the stepping stone or foundation for the math curriculum that we use in the K-5 classrooms in our elementaries. So that's been a really nice bridge for those teachers to really build that quality foundation, because that's what we know is most important in early childhood. And then the social emotional piece too, which is really huge for our Young Fives program. That's a lot of where we see the most growth. So really focusing on those self-help, problem solving, following classroom routines, some of those things that we know are the most important pieces for kids to be set up for the most success when it comes to kindergarten. So along with some of those content pieces, we also needed to align some of the assessment pieces. So the K-5 staff was beginning to use Acadience reading, and there's a screener that goes along with that called the PELI is the acronym, but it stands for the Preschool Early Literacy Indicators, and it falls in these 4 areas. And again, if you kind of take a look back, that's really everything in that early literacy bubble. So this gave us a really good idea of where our students are and where we could target instruction in those small groups to really build that foundation. So I just want to show you a quick snapshot. This is the first year that we've utilized it. So if you look in that box on the left-hand side, that's the beginning of the year. So that red area indicates students who are well below, the yellow is below, and the green is on benchmark, and blue is above. So you can see there's 39 students in the program currently. This is both programs together in this data warehouse. And so then from that to middle of the year, you can already see the growth that has been made. So we now have, at the middle of the year benchmark, we already had 80% of those 39 students on or above the benchmark at the middle of the year. And we still have the end of the year assessment to be able to do that. We'll do that one more time. It's just like any of the benchmarks that have a fall, winter, and a spring. So I just wanted to showcase that because that's really awesome growth in that program. And then I probably could have filled about 15 slides of these, so I just picked a couple. I mean, some of them were like full pages long and so heartwarming. And I'm really happy that most of them funneled through those actual classroom teachers so that they could read. You don't always hear that stuff as a teacher, but some of the parent testimonials, that one says the best part about the whole Young Fives program was how that classroom became like a little family to my daughter and how they all grew and learned together. The next one, I cannot honestly say enough about the Young Fives program and recommend it to so many. By the end of the year, my son was 100% ready for kindergarten. We're so thankful our district offers such an amazing program for a year of growth for our littles. And the next one, just again, witnessing that significant growth. And again, it not just being the academic piece, but that social, emotional, and interpersonal skills is a huge part of what both of the teachers pride themselves on. And then I couldn't bring any kiddos here with me, so we settled for some pictures, but it just goes to show some of the fun. Like, look at their writing with shaving cream. They're become little veterinarians. In that one picture, they're working with some manipulatives and some fine motor skills. And then again, some fun kind of holiday and craft stuff that they're able to do to work on all of those fine motor skills that are also crucial for kindergarten, but in a fun and developmental way. And that is it. Does anybody have any questions for me?
I do.
Oh,
We don't.
no.
And I love the program. I wish I'd had that when my kids were little. That's no cost to the families, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Lacey. Okay, now we'll move into our update from TMP. Thank you, ladies.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for letting us be here and use a little bit of your time to give you an update on the wonderful happenings out in the district because of the bond. So I'm Melanie Hall. I'm from TMP Architecture, and I'm the team's project manager.
I am Amy Ridleski. I am the lead architect of the St. Clair campus and helping out with the Marine City campus right now.
I'm Natalie Miller. I'm an interior designer on the projects.
Thank you. So tonight, we're going to give you just a little brief download on what's happening at Marine City 6 through 12 campus. And Sherry, you know, it's looking beautiful. We're under construction, and construction should be lasting through about fall of this year. And then we'll also move on to St. Clair 6 through 12 campus. So we've already finished the gym, and that looks gorgeous. Right, Dave? So now we're moving on to the renovation of the rest of the building and then the small classroom addition that will be attached to that too. And that will finish up construction fall of next year.
Okay, so first, a little fun, some pictures of Marine City. We had some refreshes of the main entry. This is at the new administration offices. This is the secure entry. So anyone going into the building is immediately taken into the front office from these doors.
And that's the Ward Street entrance. So
Yes.
if you're trying to orient yourself, that is the Ward Street.
And then this kind of showing both. We have the front entry, and then also at the athletics, there's a side entry from the student parking lot, the home of the Mariners. Interior, here's one of the renovated spaces. This is the student commons area in the middle of the building here, with some furniture and finish updates. And then ongoing right now, the pool has been drained and they are currently removing the ceiling. They are going to be working on putting air conditioning in there and upgrading some of the mechanical systems. So to do that, new lighting, they had to kind of build some scaffolding over the pool. So that's currently under construction. And then Natalie's going to talk about a little bit of furniture.
So this is just a further update on the furniture. As you can see by the different colors we've had, as construction's been completed, phased installation of new furniture. So for tonight, we're focusing on the areas in pink. That's going to be installed in August of this year, then completing the installation. Just a refresher on the classrooms, keeping the same consistent layouts as we have thus far for the general classroom furniture. Same with our science classrooms as the more get updated. Looking at our art and then food and nutrition classrooms as they had, special functions of the space, adjusting the furniture to accommodate that. And then in our classroom for Project Lead the Way, working really closely with Sherry and feedback from the teacher for that class to get furniture that met their needs. And then the staff lounge accommodating for the updates with a variety of furniture.
Okay, and then St. Clair, you might have seen some construction fencing and the work starting on the main campus now. This is kind of an overview site plan, a Google map view of all the highlights happening, to repave the asphalt lots. There's going to be a new front entry drive that'll have some visitor parking right up front. A new entry plaza, there'll be kind of an additional grand entry. I have a couple renderings of that coming up. Stormwater, sidewalks, some roofing upgrades, and then the lower left corner, that red piece is the new 6th classroom addition. The upper right corner is that gym addition that is completed. And then here's kind of a zoom in on the front entry campus. So this drive is a little bit different when it's complete for the entry. And this is kind of all these squares are a front plaza to the building and the 6th classroom addition. If I go to the next page, here's the new entry. So we're refreshing the canopy. This is a new addition right here. And then some extra sidewalk to create that nice drop-off plaza campus feel. And then there's the zoom in, new signage on that front entry. Then the addition, some more graphic logos to the campus. And here's kind of an overall highlight of the entire renovation of the campus. So there's a few areas in red that are heavy renovation. There's walls moving, new room layouts. That is at the main offices, at the art rooms, and a new middle school band room as this becomes the 6th through 12 campus. Other highlights listed here: lighting, furniture, roofs, technology, windows and doors, hardware, air conditioning, and that safe and secure entry. So the same thing, the main office, once you're in the front vestibule, you'll have to be buzzed into the office before access. So the front office will be right when you come in and not across the hall any longer to provide more security there. New offices for admin and counseling, the new band room and art room. Then here's kind of a look at what that new admin looks like. Here, this window on the left is kind of that vestibule that's currently in the school. So a new door here, so you'll go right into the office, and then a door here on the right that'll let you in the school once you've been checked in. And then this is the new lobby. When you come in the front doors at St. Clair, we're gonna open that up a little bit more, have some additional glass here for the media center, a bench seating, and then some windows into, this will be the counseling suite.
We have some finishes up there.
Does the media center otherwise stay the same, or was there some internal?
It'll be refreshed, it'll be the same wall area, but it'll have new flooring, new ceiling, the air conditioning and mechanical that the entire building's receiving. New furniture. And I think we have one of that
As I say,
too.
the next slide, I think.
Yeah, the next one is inside too.
So we were able to work closely with both the middle school and high school teams at St. Clair to develop both the finishes and furniture for the space, to give it a refresh, create different areas for the different purposes that they use the space for, large groups, lounge, social gatherings, you can see, to just give a variety of options for students in the media center. And then there we go. Okay. And then, so this is an overview of the furniture installation phasing as construction completes the different zones. We'll have furniture moving in. So for this summer, anything you see in orange will get new furniture this year. And then anywhere in blue, so the addition and then that wing on the top left will get new furniture over the spring break in 2025. And then areas in green down there at the bottom by the cafeteria, as well as some of the offices up in athletics will get new furniture. This is just showing an overview of the general classroom furniture. We worked closely to make sure the standards were consistent with Marine City, but we did go through the exercise of making sure the desk sizes fit, because St. Clair's classrooms are physically, like the room itself is a little bit smaller. So we were able to go through the process of getting furniture samples to make sure space would be adequate for them to still move about the space. It's the same as Marine City, having some options of both lower and higher seating for student choice. And then in the bottom left there, you can see the updated finishes for the classroom. So we'll have new flooring, new casework, and paint in the spaces. Yes. And then this is just showing the science classrooms, depending on if they had labs or not, we would have the desks for flexibility in the space as well, and then we would get the same finishes as the general classrooms. And then for their Project Lead the Way classroom, we are also able to get feedback from their teacher as to the needs for the space, so giving lots of workspace and storage. In the staff lounge, we were able to utilize some of the same pieces that we used at Marine City, but also incorporating the reuse of furniture you can see in gray along the perimeter for cost savings. Thank you. Any questions?
Someone have any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you.
PA 152 of 2011 resolution, Angie Gleason.
Good evening. What I have tonight is overview of the PA 152. And what that is that's Act 152 of 2011. It was created a new law that limits the amount public employees employers can pay for employee medical benefits. This act was effective September of 2011. And there are annual hard caps that are set by the state treasurer and updated for inflation annually. Employers can accept these hard caps or elect to contribute 80% of the employee's health care coverage. The 2024 rates are listed above. The East China School District offers 3 different levels within our plans: single coverage, 2-person coverage, and family coverage. I've listed in the second column the current 2024 hard caps for each level, and then what the average 80% contribution is for the district. As you can see, the hard caps are higher in each category. With the East China School District has opted for the 80% contribution since 2011, and by maintaining that 80% contribution rate, the district saves over $444,000 annually. So with that, the administration recommends that we maintain our 80% contribution for the PA 152. Any questions? Okay.
I do.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Later in the meeting, there is an opportunity for the general public to address the board. Have you filled out a green card?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, great. So you could ask your question then. Thank you. Everybody good? Okay. So our next item is closed session, and I need a motion that the Board of Education goes into closed session pursuant to Section 8C of the Open Meetings Act, Act 267 of 1976, board discussion connected to the negotiations of a collective bargaining agreement.
So moved.
Support.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okay, right now, we are going to go into closed session, and then when we come back, we will move into our recognition of persons wishing to address the board.